Is that what they do?
I mean, that's what they're trained
Are
for.
they hunting or burrowing dogs?
Yeah. Okay. I think there was a little bit of drama when one of the Queen's dogs got caught in a underground tunnel after it was chasing something.
Oh, yikes!
Got caught in a burrow, and there's been quite a bit of effort digging it out again.
Oh, what a poor little guy.
Yeah, I mean, dumbass, basically.
I'm thinking about a joke that Billy Connolly, the Bacon, told about a friend of his who had a pair of Dachshunds. What are they called in English? The sausage dogs, the limousine terriers.
I think they call them Dachshunds.
Dachshunds, yeah.
Tekel in Dutch.
A male and a female, and when she got in heat, then so how do you deal with that when she goes in heat? Oh, just move her upstairs. What, you don't put a fence or anything? You ever seen a Dachshund trying to get up the stairs with an erection? Yeah. Anyway, welcome to the Joy of Trek Story Reading Edition. I'm Kaki.
I'm Kay.
And today we're going to be reading for you a story by Daxs10thHost. I think I'm saying that right.
It looks about right, yeah. Daxs10thHost. Oh, who'd that be? Is that the one after?
That's got to be after Esri.
Yeah, that's the name I couldn't think of. Yes,
which has been selected by our chief engineer, and it is called
Nyota's Wish.
Nyota's Wish. Let me see. Category FF. Oh, it's a lesbian one. Nice. Star Trek: Strange New World. Star Trek: Lower Decks. Oh, okay. So it's based on Season 2, Episode 7, Those Old Scientists, the crossover one.
We were just talking about those old scientists.
Yeah.
This temporal vortex.
Temporal vortex.
For you, it has been 2 weeks. For us, it has been 10 minutes.
And it is for Ersine.
Oh, yes. And the summary is, okay, Mariner says, slamming her glass down so hard its contents slosh onto the bar, I think should have a slumber party right now.
All right. And let me see if I put that. God, it's such a satisfying sound. Nyota can feel the stares like they're coming from 4 sets of eyes instead of 2. And while staring seems to be the norm ever since Beckett and Boimler burst through the portal, she'd really rather not lose her cool in front of someone who thinks she's so, cool. She drops her pad on the bar and lets the clutter cover a sigh.
You can't crack it. Erica looks disappointed, which is not what a Nyota needs.
Oh, I can crack it, but all it says is that this is a time portal.
Mariner blinks. I'm sorry, what?
That's what it says, word for word. This is a time portal. Nyota slumps across the bar and buries her head in her arms. This was such a waste of time. I need sleep.
Girl, I've been telling you that since I got here.
She doesn't sleep.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
I slept last night.
For how many hours?
Nyota leaves her head. 5.
Erica leans across the bar toward Mariner and bets her it was less than 3. Which, rude. It's not Nyota's fault that work-life balance is a joke in this career.
Finally, someone that acknowledges the fact that, everybody in Starfleet is a tryhard.
They're all covered in workahol.
I know.
I mean, it really makes me appreciate Reg Barkley a lot more, who seems that, he has offline activities, and he seems to actually struggle under the workload, but then nevertheless...
Maybe he's one of those people who is naturally resistant.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's just hyper-focused because he has undiagnosed ADHD. How is that still undiagnosed? Oh, it was written in the 90s. Maybe this is why Bibi left Starfleet. Come to think of it, she was always extolling the virtues of rest. Certainly more than her parents did.
Okay, Mariner says, slamming her glass down so hard its contents slash onto the bar. I think we should have a slumber party, now. She waggles her eyebrows and grins.
Nyota glances at Erica, who lifts her hands in a helpful gesture. She turns back to Mariner. It's 3:00 in the afternoon.
Hello? Mariner twirls her hand towards a blank of windows. We're in space. We're not bound by a planet's timetable. There's no sun to dictate day and night. We're literally adhering to a set of made-up-the rules.
Yeah, Erica says slowly. Oh, yeah, Erica says slowly. And Nyota's relieved to hear the incredulous pitch to her voice because, finally, she doesn't have to be the only spoilsport in the room. But we kind of have to stick to them, since, we're on the clock.
Careful, Nyota says as she massages the crick in her neck, or else she'll quote Starfleet labor codes at you.
Really? Like verbatim? That's kind of hot.
Nyota freezes, eyes wide as she turns. Tell me you did not just say that. Erica drops her gaze to the table and coughs. In a completely respectful, platonic, not gonna f*** up the timeline all kind of way. She wiggles in her seat a little, clears her throat.
There's a moment of silence that lasts long enough to make Nyota wonder if they've finally managed to shatter Mariner's illusion by virtue of being weird as f***. But then she jerks her chin toward Erica and grins. All right, okay. Let's go.
Go where? Nyota asks.
And do what?
Mariner plants her hands on her hips and looks between them. Have neither of you had a slumber party before? Erica tilts her head to consider the question, and Mariner says that doesn't bode well. Nyota's still hung up on the fact that it's 1500 hours and can't picture what a slumber party even means in this context. Mariner's shoulders sag. Come on, you two. I was just beginning to adopt Boimler's belief that everyone from the past is cool.
Nyota massages the bridge of her nose. I guess playing hooky could be considered the adult equivalent of staying up all night, Erica ventures. Nyota can't tell if she's warming up to the idea because Beckett's enthusiasm is that infectious, or because Erica's just more adventurous than she is. She folds her arms on the bar and leans forward. How do you feel about horror movies?
Love 'em, adore 'em, play 'em all the time. Beckett puts a hand to her mouth and just coughs against her fist. In my head. I play them all the time in my head while I'm working because, I think they're so cool.
Yeah, can't be talking about holodecks, especially not on a ship where the captain is militantly against holograms. He had the whole holographic system ripped out because they creep him out, look like ghosts, never on the Enterprise.
Okay. Well, that's a bit of retconning why they didn't have one on the original. Very nice.
Erica rubs her hands together. Hell yeah. Okay, I'm in.
You're serious? You're going to ditch work? Just like that?
Nope, Erica says, hopping off the stool and clapping a hand to Nyota's shoulder. I'm going to go to Una and ask if I can ditch work.
Just for my men, Erica, that's Chapel or...
Ortegas.
Ortegas, thank you, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, terrible with names, you know me.
I've been trying a Hispanic or Latinx accent.
Right. That's not...
Semantics.
Oh, I'm so getting busted down to cadet for this. Nyota groans as Beckett comes around the bar to drag her off a chair.
Yeah. Scene change because there's a. Do you know that's called a dinkus?
I did not.
I didn't know that either. And I've done publishing. I've gone really, really into typography.
So how does it become like a you dingus type? How does it become an insult?
So not dingus, dinkus with a K.
Right,
so
enough.
The little thing in between, like
a little paragraph break, basically.
Sort of.
Yeah, a dinkus. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can have like adventurous little curlicues and such.
Yeah, I mean, for some words we know how they turn into insults.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's the...
That feels like you're leading to an example.
I was,
yeah.
And now I'm realizing that my brain has the wrong word in it. So I'm
okay.
I'm desperately trying to remember what it was now. It's from Bugs Bunny, and he calls
Nimrod.
Nimrod, which is a great biblical hunter, and he's doing it sarcastically. And apparently not enough people knew that story or about that story, so they just thought it was a word for calling someone stupid.
Yeah.
And so it became a word for calling someone stupid.
In Dutch, we have an example like that where someone can be a weird quibus.
Yeah.
And it's an odd one. And this comes from Latin liturgy in Rotterdam when Catholics visited Mass. And the people who visited Mass generally didn't speak Latin.
No.
But they did notice that around the word quibus was usually when the priest, pastor, I don't know exactly what they have in Catholicism, nodded toward the altar boy because that's about the time that he should be coming up with the candles or whatever. And, altar boys are always gangly 14-year-old, absolutely worst body shape, all elbows and just weird.
So they became a quibus.
Yeah. You became just a weird gangly dipshit.
Nice. I did not know that. Anyway, so after the dinkus has been passed
by the quibus, it's the kind of scene the Una of 6 months ago would have shut down immediately. Mariner and Ortegas spilling off the turbo lift with Uhura between them, looking like she wouldn't mind if a black hole opened on the bridge and obliterated her. If Beckett didn't have such a firm grip on her, she might have walked over to Spock's science station and gone looking for one herself. Una looks from Mariner's grin to Uhura's fidgets to the sparkle in Ortegas' eyes. Hi, Jinx. Unmistakably, she decides to play along. Hi, Jinx.
Ensign, Lieutenant, I don't remember assigning any of you to the bridge. Briefly, Uhura fills her in on the inscription on the portal. Una blinks. You came all the way up here to the bridge to tell me that? Couldn't you just have used the comms?
Uhura opens her mouth, hesitates, then shrugs. Ortegas and Mariner appear to hold an entire conversation with their eyebrows, while Una and La'an look on, and Uhura becomes more and more embarrassed. Finally, more to put an end to Uhura's misery than to feed her curiosity over whatever the hell is happening here. Una narrows her eyes and asks, "What's going on?"
It's like a comedy show. Mariner props an elbow on Uhura's shoulder and crosses her ankles in a jaunty lean as Ortegas tucks her hands between her back and rocks onto the balls of her feet.
That is so Lower Decks.
Yes.
Just immediately.
Nothing that'll get us in trouble. We just came up here to ask if we could have the rest of the day off for watching movies.
Uh-huh.
Worf's honor, Mariner pipes up, then winces. Behind them, seated as tactical, La'an frowns and opens her mouth, then seems to think better of it and closes it again. Mariner recovers and jerks her chin towards Erica. Ortegas is a horror geek. She offered to show me her collection.
Ooh, did she now?
Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting step in lesbian courtship. I shall recommend a book. Una looks from Mariner to Ortegas to Uhura and back again, but it doesn't sound like a euphemism. And really, if it is, does she even want to know?
I'm thinking A Nightmare on Elm Street, Ortegas offers.
Solid choice, Beckett nods.
Then to Uhura, you'll be...
Participating, chorus the usual suspects. La'an rubs her forehead. Uhura just tugs at her collar and nods.
Participating, I see. Una looks slowly between them, pretending to consider, then catches Erica's eye and winks. All right, leave granted. And Mariner? She waits for the errant time traveler to stop dragging Uhura towards the lift and turn around with an innocent blink. I don't want to see you back on this bridge unless I've called you.
Fair.
Yeah. La'an waits until the lift doors have closed before turning to Una with a frown. Are you sure that was wise?
What? Giving them the afternoon off? Are you kidding? Uhura hasn't taken leave since she was beamed aboard. I'm beginning to think I'd have to get Dr. Mbenga involved.
You might still have to. She looked ill, Una chuckles. La'an suppresses a sigh. All this time, travel has her wanting to crawl into a storage closet until everyone's sorted back into their proper lives. Anyway, what I meant was, is it wise to let them spend so much unsupervised time with Mariner?
You don't like her?
It's not that I don't like her, it's that she's erratic.
A snort. That's one way of putting it.
And we're trying to protect the timeline, not wreck it.
Watching movies for one afternoon isn't going to break the space-time continuum.
How do you know they're going to watch movies?
Because they told me. You heard them yourself.
And you believe them?
Well, yeah. It's not every day that someone has the guts to walk up to me and ask if they can miss the rest of their shift because they want to watch A Nightmare on Elm Street.
She folds her arms. The remake or the original?
Which remake? There are 4.
La'an raises an eyebrow. Precisely. And I'm sure there will be another 4 by the time Mariner... She pauses.
Having trouble with the tenses?
They're awful.
Best not to think about it too hard.
La'an sits down at Nyota's empty station. Even in the middle of a minor diplomatic crisis, operations on the bridge have reached a kind of lull. La'an hates lulls. They lure people into a false sense of security, and then the trouble starts. My point, she continues, regardless of the tenses, is that every minute we spend with our visitors risks contaminating the timeline.
Yeah, and she's especially sensitive to that, given that she's gone through some time shenanigans herself. I can't exactly lock them in their rooms, La'an.
Why not?
They haven't got any.
There's always the break. A pause during which Una actually swivels the captain's seat around to glare at her. Fine, all right, but if we get an angry visit from temporal investigations, I'm blaming it on you.
You know, if you're serious about this temporal purity thing, you could always join them. Una blinks at her prettily, as if she's got her pinned. Yeah, I got so into the story.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I thought you were narrating and I was just on now. I'd go, but then it wouldn't be a day off. It'd just be watching a movie with your boss, which is weird. She frowns, then shakes herself. Anyway, one of us, at least, should have fun.
La'an considers it. Briefly. Don't be ridiculous.
Una spins back towards the view screen, and the English accent that I slipped into vanishes by mistake. I'm just saying, it wouldn't hurt to live a little.
La'an humps. Who are you, and what did you do with number 1?
Una just smiles and shrugs. Yep, that's what she does. Smile and shrug.
Smile and shrug. Okay, Beckett says, standing in front of Ortega's movie cabinet. Not that your collection of physical media isn't incredibly impressive and probably belongs in a museum instead of on a starship that participates in more galactic incidents in a week than your average freighter sees in a year, but please tell me we didn't just sweet talk number 1 into giving you the afternoon off to watch a bunch of whatever these are.
That was impressive, Kay.
Thank you.
And the little breath in between, like, that's the mark of a professional, that you actually managed to sneak it in there. It's completely... I was really, really impressed, Kay. Ortegas and Uhura exchange a look. I mean, we can always go with a different medium if DVDs aren't your thing. Ortegas thinks for a minute, then lights up. Have you ever seen Creature from the Black Lagoon? I got that on VHS.
Uhura makes a face. What's VHS?
It's this tech they used in the 1900s. Wow. Took me forever to track down the replicator patterns for parts to build the VCR. It's funny that you said that thing about a museum, because I actually got the pattern for the erase head last week from a museum on...
Beckett groans. No, the movie was supposed to be a cover. Ortegas looks at her blankly. For hijinks. Silence. You don't seriously expect me to come all this way and not play Enterprise Bingo?
Enterprise Bingo! Oh no, says Uhura.
Oh no, Ortegas agrees.
Beckett crosses her arms. And here I was thinking you were the cool one. You're just as boring as Chief What's-Her-Name with the braids.
Look, Ortegas says, clasping her hands in front of her chest and taking a step away from the movie cabinet. As much as it pains me not to deny a personally comparison to La'an, I'm with Uhura on this one. Enterprise Bingo is not the game you want to be playing when you're trying not to mess up the timeline.
Come on, it can't be that bad.
Uhura folds her arms and looks at her sternly, which, that's a lot. There's phasers involved.
Briefly, Beckett weighs the pros and cons of getting shot by Nyota Uhura. She hates getting stunned, but if Uhura were the one doing the stunning... Over Uhura's shoulder, Ortegas makes eye contact and slowly shakes her head. Okay, so I agree. Phasers are definitely a bad idea, but we can just skip that square. No need to go for blackout, right?
Sorry, Ortega says. Not happening.
Beckett sits on the couch. To her right, Uhura's still looking at her with that incredibly iconic glare, and Beckett remembers why she didn't want to travel back in time in the first place. This is so much worse than pissing off her mom. She sighs. Fine, all right, but can I at least see all the squares?
Ortegas rocks back on her heels as if giving the request some thought, but then Uhura grabs her arm. Hold on. If you're from the future and you know about Enterprise Bingo, can't you just look up the squares when you get home?
Busted. She clears her throat. Okay, so the original game maybe didn't survive in totality.
Mariner! Ortegas gasps in a remarkable imitation of Boimler's favorite shock. I can't believe you were trying to trick us into altering the timeline.
Oh, come on! You can't seriously believe knowing bingo squares is going to f*** up the fabric of space-time. She looks between them, these icons, these legends, these women she's idolized her whole life, but neither appears to harbor a favorable opinion of the word budge. Fine, she sighs, falling back against the cushions. We can watch your weird ancient movie, but only if we make it into Slumber Party like I wanted in the beginning. She bats her eyelashes. Please?
Ortegas rolls her eyes and starts pulling pillows off the bed, tossing them into the middle of the floor with a handful of blankets to make a nest in front of the clunky device she calls a TV. Now that she's looking at it, Mariner's pretty sure Rutherford tried to build one of these last week. She can only hope Ortega's parts are a better quality. Rutherford's went up in flames.
Yikes. Uhura walks over to the cabinets and pokes her head into a few. You're running low on snacks again. Might have to make a run to the matter synthesizers.
Ooh, do you guys still use those little...
No! They shout. No more questions. No breaking the timeline.
Beckett pouts, but successfully bats away both pillows Ortegas lobs at her head. Keep throwing those and you start an all-out pillow war, she warns.
You know, it never occurred to me, but timeline contamination works the other way as well.
Right.
Right? She's not supposed to bring knowledge out of the past that the future doesn't have.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah, but that never comes up.
No,
right?
that's generally considered to be okay.
Yeah.
Because that's from a very, it depends on where your story-centric is from. Like if you consider who's now we're talking about. So, and in fact, we do have two entirely different perspectives here. Because like we have, from Mariner, she's back in the past.
Yeah.
But from from Uhura's perspective, she has a visitor from the future.
Yes, exactly.
Which are generally held to be two entirely different stories.
Interesting. Yeah, they do eventually get visitors from the future sometimes.
Right, I know, but like if you take Back to the Future, it's all done from the 80s viewpoint. That is
That's
now.
the reference frame.
Everything else is either future or past. But you can also have like other stories, like we are in the now. Like what's that time traveler show again called with the agents who
Travelers. A very good show.
That is very much our time is the same,
it's the 21st,
and everybody else is coming in from the future,
which is constantly changing,
right?
And only the now is canonical.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, back to the story. We're still telling the story. Pillow War, yeah. Her companions share a sidelong glance. I don't see any problem with that.
2 against 1, Ortegas agrees. We trounce you.
Oh, hell no! Beckett snatches a pillow. I'll have you know I'm reigning champion in my division of Starfleet Pillow Fighting League.
That cannot be a real thing, Uhura pauses. Can it?
Ortegas grabs a pillow and jumps up and down to loosen her muscles. Only one way to find out.
When it comes to movies, horror isn't Nyota's first or even 10th choice of genre. In fact, she's not really much of a movie girl at all. If she had her way, they'd be singing. But Chappelle, her usual karaoke buddy, has been pretty busy dating Spock, and the last time Nyota tried to get Erica to sing, it almost ended in blood. Turns out Erica's neighbors are on different shifts and don't appreciate being woken up by show tunes at their version of 3 a.m. She's been too busy to set anything up since she got her own quarters, and at this point she's kind of accepted that horror movies are going to be a fixture in her life.
When Nyota slips back into Erica's quarters bearing a tray of freshly synthesized snacks and a few bowls of fresh fruit she stopped to pick up from the aeroponics bay, she expects to walk into an all-out pillow war. They called a truce to allow for a food run, but Erica is nothing if not competitive. She expected them to have gone at least 3 more rounds by the time she got back.
Instead, they're sitting on the floor in front of what appears to be the entire contents of Erica movie cabinet. DVDs, holos, VHS, microtapes, and a handful of formats Nyota doesn't recognize, but assumes are older than her great-great-grandmother. Cross-legged, sitting side by side, their heads bent together, they sort through the collection, voices rising and falling according to their strength of opinion. From what you can hear, it appears that Beckett has a vampire kink. Erica insists that zombies are much, much cooler.
You're just saying that because there's a hot bunch in that one.
I think it says hot butch.
Oh. You're not saying that because there's a hot butch in that one.
Shut up! It's a classic!
No way, Beckett insists. But this one, on the other hand...
Nyota smiles and shakes her head and sets the snacks on a nearby table as she does. Erica catches her eye. She can't quite describe what passes between them. Erica on the floor, Nyota at the table, Beckett between them sorting through the movies, unaware of the sudden softness that's moved into their eyes. Oh. But whatever it is, it lodges deep in her throat. What was it her grandmother liked to say about Starfleet? You meet the most unlikely people of your life, encounter the strangest anomaly, experience things you couldn't dream.
Whole friendships, she once said, built in a day.
Nyota looks at Beckett and back at Erica, and when she does, there's something like sadness splashed across her face.
Oh. Whenever Erica invites her to Terror Tuesdays, Nyota at least tries to pay attention to the action on screen. To her credit, Erica has been really good about picking movies she thinks she'll enjoy. She even gave Nyota a list of tropes and had her cross out the ones she didn't like. But today, she's lost the plot almost from the start. She's pretty sure it involves vampires and rock bands and a lot of other things Beckett declares confusingly sexy in a tone that indicates delight. But Nyota doesn't care. All she cares about is the dark room and the fluffy blankets, and Beckett and Erica pressed against their sides.
Ooh. Do you care if I fall asleep on you? She mumbles once she realizes it's bound to happen.
I care very much, Beckett answers. So much that I might beg you to.
Nyota considers for a moment how very, very weird it is to fall asleep on a girl from the future who idolizes some future version of herself, then decides she's much more interested in taking a nap than in the ethics of temporal dislocation. You have very nice boobs, she sighs, wiggling down into the blankets and tossing an arm over Beckett's side.
Beckett pats her back. I'll be sure to tell my girlfriend you said that.
Kidding, she adds when both Erica and Nyota bolt upright. Kidding, I would never break the temporal prime directive like that. A pause. But if it had to be broken.
Nyota flops back down and Erica socks Beckett in the arm before asking a little too casually what the TPD has to say about making out. Beckett asks if they're speaking hypothetically or in the concrete, and Erica says that depends on what the answer is. It's the kind of scene Nyota wishes could go on forever, soft and warm and familiar and light, and she falls asleep to the sound of Beckett and Erica flirting above her. She wishes, just for a moment, that it could last beyond one night.
Oh, damn, that's a fantastic story.
That's amazing. That's so much fun.
Very well done.
Oh, well done, Daxs 10th host. That was really impressive.
Yes. Ooh.
Yeah, I know. I'm flustered as well.
Yes, it's a little bit warm in here, isn't it?
It's weird how we get that way when it's story time. I mean, you have the excuse that,
I'm drinking hot tea. Yes.
well, we're always drinking hot tea, but like when it's regular episode time, there's whole stretches where I get stuck in a groove, and you could just sort of chill out and look for the next GIF that you're going to play when you drag me back on track. Oh, okay. So, was there? Do we get out of warp or?
No, that's just
we don't
like
have the
shields up now.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe one day we'll.
We just have to talk about what is going to happen next week and the week after that.
Yes, we've got a new episode of Star Trek that we're watching next week. You'll hear that in the end credits from the chief, and after that, we're going to do another story
for which the chief has left us a little teaser of what it's going to be about. The defiant response to the distress signal from Empok Nor.
Yeah!
To find a simple, savage mission gone wrong. And
salvage.
Salvage, you're right, salvage.
But it does turn into a savage mission. Yeah, it is Empok Nor.
And Julian finding Garak in a state he never imagined.
Ooh, I can't wait.
Is it going to be North Dakota?
Oh, I get it. States.
Sorry, yeah.
That's a good joke. That's a good joke, okay. Anyway.
The hell is this?
I'm leaving Starfleet.
Energize!
We hope you've enjoyed this week's episode with your friends Kay and Kaki, production and editing by our chief engineer Greg, and music by Fox Amore. Join us next week for By Any Other Name, TOS 222, followed by Venom in the Blood, the fanfiction reading. Visit joyoftrek.com/links to send us your recommendations, support us on Patreon, or to find us on Blue Sky. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for listening to The Joy of Trek, and we'll see you out there!